When the second bout of this evening is in the atomweight division. Scheduled 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Thailand, making her debut, Noelle Grandjean! When her opponent in the red corner from Azerbaijan stands in 154 centimeters tall. Ladies and gentlemen, her third fight, Suad Salimova! When the referee in this fight is Mr. Niels Buursken.
When you look at these two, my friend, from a distance, they both have braids. They both are wearing the booster outfit. They have similar body types. You've got to almost identify them by the 2 knots of the braids on the top of Grandjean's head.
I know this will be a tough one to tell apart. They are very, very similar. I think if you look at the shorts, Grandjean is slightly grayer, or take the 2 braided sections on at the top, as Robin mentioned. So Salimova has had over 40 fights in kickboxing, Robin. What difference does that make? What experience does it do? Or is it where does it put on you?
So watch Salimova. You mentioned she's got more red in her shorts, red in her hair. Do you see when she's throwing the jabs? Jab high, jab body, with fade in, touch. There's a flow to what she's doing. Extreme comfort to what she's doing. She's catching the kicks currently of Grandjean, which, you know, I think in retrospect, she doesn't necessarily want to get into getting grips and exchanging grips with each other.
So Grandjean so far, even though doesn't have the same background or pedigree, would you say she's looking comfortable in there striking-wise?
Yeah, she looks ornery. Like, look at the look on her face, like really sort of displeased, disinterested in what Salimova wants to do. And now calling her forward. She's got a real sort of rugged, tough kind of vibe to her.
For sure, and there's always that phrase, right, that the less experienced you are at something, the more your face shows it. And I think we just saw our first bit of judo there.
Yeah, and that toss, and now she may attack the arm here with her legs. I don't know, we can't see. Yeah, she is. She's attacking the arm lock here. This is a really old school judo armbar here. And she can hyperextend it and attack. So your back is offered up, but that head and arm control now again, trying to hyperextend. There it is.
Oh, ooh, I think that might be it.
Does not look good.
The referee, I think, is having a look at this here because from our angle there, it looked like the joint popped out, right?
Yes, something changed. There was a biological adjustment of some kind. Now from here, she can punch an elbow from the top. That taking of the head, it looks like an old school schoolyard headlock. You don't see that in men's fighting. There's something about the physical nature of women's fighting where you see it much more. Also with a judo background, you can throw from that head and then attack the old school judo straight armbar.
And that was a very Rousey-esque move in a prime, correct? Mm-hmm. And for the fighters here, Grandjean is on top currently, and Salimova is in the bottom position. So we saw something move in Salimova's arm there, but it looks like she's not suffering. Both arms are moving. She's gripping.
As far as I could tell, that was the left arm because she was controlled from that side. And you see her actually striking with that left arm. So we certainly don't think it's broken. There fighters that I've spoken to with a broken arm describe a grinding, sort of a rubbing of the bone. And she doesn't. Now she's attacking the armbar.
No holding.
And her corner said stand up, and that was great advice. It was there for her, and she took it.
So let's keep an eye on Salimova's left. She threw the jab there. It doesn't look like she's bothering her too much, Robin.
Noelle Grandjean, she was smiling all day yesterday at the weigh-ins, but she ain't smiling now. She's all business. Tried to tear her arm off, got the key takedown at the key time, and now seems happy to, she was happy to convince her opponent and us that she wanted to strike. Perfectly timed the takedown and now moves to mount. She'll be hard to shake.
Yeah, and what does Grandjean want to do here? What would be the way of ending this fight from this position?
Their armbar may become available, and what happens, and she's looking for the arm right now. She's looking for the same left arm, that ornery approach, but watch her control her own hips, and now she ends up in guard. So this is a chance for Salimova now.
Yeah, and we're going to see what she does. So what would Salimova be best to do here? Does she want to try and Or it looks like she's trying to rise up.
So yes, get enough space. The term they used to use was posture up. Now we can just say make space. But she can control inside the arms and elbow, but instead she stood up and she was promptly taken down. When you stand up against somebody like this, then that moment when you stand on your feet are planted. They can move from the ground straight in on your hips. It's actually surprising you don't see that as much. When you stand, you must separate. 2 steps back and a step around.
And this has been a high-octane match so far, Robin. They've been going like hammer and tong. I don't know how they're still moving after this.
This is only our second fight, lads.
It's a good one. Yeah, it's a fun fight, like a very scrappy fight, very different. Watch for elbows here. You can really elbow off that straight arm, or she's going to try to knee the sternum.
And you notice when Grandjean was pushing Salimova's head down there, so it was almost at an angle. Was there a reason for that, or was that just to...
There's that head and arm throw again, and she didn't get it clean, but she ended up on top. Yeah, that by controlling the gap with the straight arm, that gap now you can elbow into it. So if I were to push your head away, when you push your head back, I elbow it. It's mean. It's mean.
That's mean and crafty. So that hard round to score, but Andy, if you're in the judge's seat, what would you put it?
Like you said, it's a very hard round to score. It's very back and forth. And we see on the replay.
Oh,
did that look like it popped?
It may have just, released from the grip of the leg, but obviously it was moving in a direction that arms are not sort of intended to move.
Exactly.
Yeah. In nature, arms don't tend to do that.
Not at all. But surprisingly, we actually seen this before more in women's MMA, where they get in that position and they carry on.
Yeah. So, nobody's paying special attention to her arm. She doesn't seem to be paying special attention to it. So, credit her for the toughness.
And
this little brute, though.
Zero emotion.
I'd like her.
Zero.
Attitude.
And the stamina of both these women. My God, if we're in for a round half as good as the last one, it's going to be fireworks. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left in this second round. Grandjean is in the greyish shorts with the 2 braids on the top of her head.
Yep.
And Salimova is in the slightly more orange shorts with the bun at the base of her neck. And a big elbow there.
Spin versus spin there, but what it succeeded in doing was getting Noelle closer. And when Noelle's close, she can attack. Now see how she's controlling the elbow? That she doesn't yet want to attack it, but now she does. Now as you respond to the elbow control, you push your arm away. Now she's got it.
Yeah. This is the same position in the first round.
Old school. She's got it.
There we go. The tap. There's
She's
the
got it.
tap.
She tapped. Yeah, she did tap. We did see that, and I believe the referee did as well.
Yeah. It took a second. Yeah, that same head throw to the judo armbar, and that was a very impressive victory from Grandjean. You can see the fighting pedigree just in the way she moves around the cage there, Robin.
Yeah, and over the last number of years, we've gone through this period. Yeah, let's take a look. There was a spin versus spin. I think we'll see it. Double bink, or 2 half binks, gets the head down, and now, as you fight the arm, she wraps it underneath the lower part of her own leg, and I was able to extend it and force the tap. Super cool, though. I was saying over the last few years, we've seen fighting, everything starts to blend and look similar. Tonight, we're seeing fighters really go to their roots.
Yeah, so we saw some absolutely fantastic combat work there. Andy, what do you expect next from a fight like, from an athlete like Noelle Grandjean?
Well, she was making her MMA debut here, but she's certainly no stranger to competition, and we saw that in there. She was very calm, very composed, and honestly, sky's the limit for this girl.
Can't agree more. So we're going to go over to the official fight announcement from Tom.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. After 55 seconds in the second round, your winner is the young lady in the blue corner, Noelle Grandjean!
Noelle, you're smiling now, and she just said hi. You were sweet and happy throughout, as long as I've seen you throughout these last couple of days, and then you come in here, you just look ornery and mean, like you want to beat a bitch up.
Yeah, I put on a mask if I have to fight, of course. Yeah.
Tell me about that armbar. That is an old school judo armbar, correct?
Yeah, I never did this technique in judo, but I feel for MMA it's good for ground and pound, and yeah, it's just natural feeling, I guess.
That you had that on her, and her arm was hyperextended in the first round. Did you think you had damaged it? Because it appeared in the replay that you had damaged her arm.
Yeah, I think it was kind of tight, but she was mentally strong. She pulled a bit my hair. Yeah, it's okay. It is what it is.
She's a very, very tough athlete and a great martial artist. That was an excellent, excellent victory for your first victory in mixed martial arts. Will we see you again in Levels Fight League?
I hope so. You tell me. Thank you for everything. I'm very happy to be here. I waited a long time for this, and I'm so happy to be here with my team. Thanks for everything.
We hope we see you as well. Noelle Grandjean, your winner.